Hello, sweet friends. How are you guys tonight? We are hoping that we can get our sweet, sweet, precious friend Brittney on. We have some wonderful news to share with her and some wonderful news to share with you guys. Daryl is looking at his phone trying to see if, like, you know how we have to, when we do a live, we have to do that funny little thing, because when we invite other people on, it does that funny magnifying. So, all right. Brittney is saying she is ready, Daryl. If you want to text her maybe and tell her that we are ready. Hey, everybody. How are you? Are you guys in the middle of all of your Thanksgiving, getting things together? Ours is on pause. I thought I would be doing some cooking today. Thought we would have been home yesterday from Daryl's surgery, but we got home today. So I did make Daryl some homemade white chili. He loves that stuff. I did make that. But as far as real Thanksgiving cooking, I did not start that. Brenda said, so glad you both are home. Thank you so much. We are excited to be able to just have you guys joining us tonight. We're going to give you an update on Daryl. He is watching his phone to see if Brittney is able to come on. Brittney is Daryl's, his wonderful coach, health coach, and we have just some great things to share with her today. Daryl has not talked to her since the surgery, and so he's got some things he wants to share. Hey, Kelly, how are you? Hey, David, good evening from Missoula, Montana.
Wow.
That's awesome. You guys are so awesome. Hey, Bonnie, how are you? Hey, Tony from Oklahoma. We are hoping that we can get Brittney to come on here. She is so great. Let me just click this, Brittney. We always have to cross our fingers, you guys. So we're hoping, did it really work?
We did it.
It
We
really
did it,
worked.
everybody.
Okay, and Daryl is just watching to see how we look, because
Thanks,
sometimes
Daryl.
it zooms in.
It's probably zoomed.
What do you think? Oh, okay.
You're really close.
Brittney's
Okay.
really close. I'm going to step back a little bit.
Okay, I'm looking at it too because that'll help me.
Okay.
Hi, you're welcome home.
Well, thank you. It's good to be home.
Yeah, we'll see can you guys see me okay? What's funny, Brittney, right? When you get this far back, you can't read the comments.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, let's see.
So
Yeah.
Daryl's got his.
So on my phone, all I'm seeing is your left shoulder.
Now she's going.
Oh, there you are.
She's going to go back a little bit.
There you go.
There we go. Do we have my face in the frame now?
Yeah. How do we look, Daryl?
Okay, Daryl.
Okay.
Listen, I'm counting on you to teach us Restream because I think that's what we need to be doing.
I think so too. I'm excited about the time that I spent with John the other night, and I've gone on their page, Restream's page, to learn a little bit more about it. But we're going to get that down. That's important.
But meanwhile, thank you for having me, and hello to everyone. I see so many familiar names in the comments section, which is really fun.
Yeah. And you know what's funny, Brittney? It's been a long time since you've been on. And so a couple of weeks back, I said, how many of you guys would like Brittney to come on? And so many people said yes, 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 yes. But Brittney has been, what have you been doing on Monday nights? Just taking girls to soccer?
Yes. In fact, my middle daughter, she does soccer about an hour and a half away.
Oh,
and that's my night to drive. And so I'm in the car for hours on that night, but we're on a little break for the holidays and for high school season. So I'll be free for the next bit.
Yeah. Well, we wanted to just come on. I know that Daryl hasn't talked with you since his surgery, and there were just some things that he wanted to just share with our followers and also with you. because anyway, we have some pretty neat things to share with you, and I'm going to let Daryl just say what he wants to say.
Well, aren't you sweet? All right. So, you know the health journey. You know I've lost 35 pounds, which is very important. But more important, my A1C has gone from an 8.3 down to a 5.3. And those that have dealt with people that have had type 2 diabetes, um, you know, wounds do not heal very easily. So they tested my sugar multiple times yesterday, and they were like, "Wow, perfect! Oh, this is cool. That's wonderful." And plus, having the weight off too. If I was 35 pounds heavier with an A1C of over 8, I probably would still be in the hospital with wound care.
So yeah, so Brittney, we just wanted to tell you, like, just a big thanks, because you have been walking this journey with us and sharing it with us. And one of the things too, when Daryl and I, before he went into his surgery, we were like, you're in better shape than you have been in years. And going into this, there wasn't a whole lot of fear wrapped around, blood sugar levels being too high, and cholesterol being too high, and all of that. Like, it was. And so yesterday, and even, well, so Monday was yesterday your surgery?
Yeah, it's just,
I mean, every time they checked his sugar, they'd be like, this is perfect, great, amazing.
I'm so happy about that. I can't even tell you, Daryl, we're going to keep the mood up. I'm not going to bring the mood down, but just know that I have an extended family member, and they recently had a similar situation, and it went a very different direction. And they were diabetic, and, I mean, technically, so are you, right? But like, to have all your numbers be so good, it really, we don't realize that so often when bad things happen, it's a complication of diabetes, and you don't have those complications anymore.
right.
And it just speaks to, I was just reading this book. I'm going to show you guys. There's this book that Yvette, who's a nurse that we work with, she recommended this, the 30-Day Diabetes Cure. Anyway, it's a fascinating book, but one of the things it talks about is the fact that, most people don't know that diabetes is reversible. That's not something they were told. And they definitely weren't told that more meds doesn't reverse it, right? It's like, so here we are following the path and being cared for, and we're very grateful for the care. We know that it's all well-intentioned, but you've taken some initiative in your own life and made some lifestyle shifts that have helped you make a U-turn down that dead-end one-way road.
There is one thing, Brittney, that you mentioned, the meds. It's kind of interesting. A week ago, they asked me to stop taking the meds, so I haven't been on any medication for a full week, and I'm still hitting perfect numbers.
Wow. Daryl, I just got the chills. I did not know that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so he had come off all of those other medications, but they were keeping him on Jardiance, and even we had asked why, and they just wanted him to stay on that Jardiance, and so he went from 25 milligrams to 10, and then he hasn't been taking it for a week, and then anyway, his numbers continued to be perfect in the hospital. It was so cool, and it was just, I mean, we just wanted to say, let us tell you all about this.
Yes. Oh, I bet. Yeah. Well, okay. So a couple people are asking me in the comments. So there's a really good book that I recommend. It's called The Diabetes Code. Okay. There's also The Obesity Code. Both of those are by Dr. Jason Fung, who we just recently were at a convention with, and he spoke there, and it was so incredible to be in the same room. But he was really a kidney doctor, and he kept seeing diabetic patients, right? Because kidney problems are often linked to the diabetes. And he started going, okay, all of our cares and treatments they sometimes prolong the inevitable, but the inevitable is the inevitable. And he said the problem that he was seeing was that none of the ways that they were treating the kidney problems or the diabetes problems really addressed the reason the person got sick in the first place. And so that didn't make sense to him because it wasn't actually healing them. It was just kind of artificially getting their numbers into the right spots, right? And so he started kind of reverse engineering. Well, why did we get the diabetes in the first place? And what is the true cause of that? And couldn't we figure out a way to kind of not keep down that same path? And so he's one of the people that has taught me the most about this and about what's possible. And so much of what he teaches is similar to what's in this book, which is the 30-day diabetes cure. But these books, you guys, I mean, this is not a plug for the books. This is just us sharing that we've learned a lot from these books. And really so much of what it goes back to is the intermittent fasting and the lowering the amount of carbohydrates and sugars. And for most people, you probably heard that before, and it probably hasn't been attainable. And I know that during the holidays, when somebody says, lower your carbohydrates and lower your sugars, all of us go, I'll start in January, right?
Yeah.
It just doesn't feel possible. And so there's a few things we wanted to share with you tonight. One of them is about the holidays and how you can best navigate that. So are we ready for that right now, you guys? Should I jump into that?
Yeah,
Okay.
sure, absolutely.
Okay, so as many of you know, Daryl and Annie and myself, we've all been using this same 2-part protocol. And this protocol is very simple. Anybody can do it. You don't have to be on a diet to do it. You literally drink these 2 drinks. And ideally, you couple it with some intermittent fasting. One of them is a yerba mate, and it's a specific patent yerba mate that you drink when you're not eating, okay? And that really is like willpower in a packet. It's delicious. I make a big iced one for most of my day. In the morning, I drink it hot. It tastes fantastic. It curbs your appetite. It increases your body's production of the GLP-1 hormone, and it makes fasting doable. So I know Daryl, he's shared. Daryl, remind us, what were your symptoms when you tried fasting in the past?
Oh, it was horrible. I was nauseous. I was dizzy. My head killed me. And there's got to be another one in there, but those were the 3 that would just kind of cripple me, if you will.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, and it makes when somebody says, hey, we need you to fast, you're like, I can't, right? You certainly can't on a work day. Maybe you could if you could just lay in bed all day,
right.
but it makes fasting not seem something you could do every day. And so you got this as your fasting companion, and then the other drink you just drink right before you eat your meals. And this combination, if you want to learn more about this combination, we're not going to go super deep into the science on this call, but the fiber that you drink before your meals, it actually lowers blood sugar. It's stronger than metformin. It lowers your blood sugar 37%, and you can monitor that on your continuous glucose monitor if you have one. You can actually see that if you ate the same meal twice and one time you had the fiber before it, you'd have a totally different blood sugar reading. And so this combination is what has helped Daryl get off his medications, reverse his diabetes, and it's that simple, right?
It's that simple.
It's that simple. And so I share this because we do have a science call tonight. If you want to learn more about the science, a deeper dive into the science with medical professionals, we actually have some medical professionals who are going to be sharing about it tonight. And you can just put science in the comment section. We'll make sure and send you the link for that time or that call. I believe it's tonight at, what time is that for you guys? 8 p.m.
It's at 8. Yeah.
8 Central.
8 p.m. Central. Yeah, 8 p.m. Central. So 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central. If you want to come to that call, just put science in the chat and we'll make sure and send you that science link so that you can learn more about this. But what we wanted to share with you is what actually happens. And it does kind of calm your cravings for carbohydrates and sugars.
Mhm.
It's like, it's not like you don't still enjoy those things, and you don't have to abstain from them completely, but you aren't constantly chasing carbs all day. And that is life changing for a lot of us, to not be thinking about our next snack, our next beverage, our next pick me up, right? And so during the holidays, we know that you are going to have some carbohydrates. You're probably going to have some mashed potatoes or stuffing or pie or something this week. All right. And we don't expect that for the rest of your life, you're going to abstain from those things. We also don't think it's a good idea to eat them all the time, right? It's not like these two products are a permission slip to eat whatever the heck you want. More, the way I think about it is, you're already going to do it. You're already going to go for it on Thanksgiving, okay? So you might as well blunt the impact of what you're about to do. And sometimes people will say to me, well, I'm just going to wait till after the holidays. And I'm like, oh no, I don't think you understand. You need this at the holidays more than you've ever needed it. This is when it's really going to make a difference for you, when you're being kind of naughty, right?
Yeah.
And so that's what I love about this. I took this recently. I know you guys were with me. We were on a cruise together, and all of us on the cruise are ripping our packets open and just shaking it up and drinking it down and then enjoying our meals.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, you can take this on a vacation. You can take this to a birthday party. You can take this to Thanksgiving dinner. And the way that I use it on Thanksgiving, because I know many of you have been using it. And so if you're one of the ones who's been using it, let me give you a tip on Thanksgiving. I know that typically we try to keep our meals to be about an hour long, like the window that we're eating in, about an hour long. And on Thanksgiving Day, that might not hold. Okay, you eat your dinner and now you have no room for dessert. And so you got to wait an hour or two, and then you're going to have dessert, right? And then about an hour later than that, you're back making a turkey sandwich with some of the leftovers. Okay, I know how this goes. We're all the same. So what I'm going to recommend to you is that you're having a balance before your Thanksgiving dinner. You're having another balance before the pie. You're having another balance before the turkey sandwich, the late night turkey sandwich, okay? Now, again, I'm not saying eat like that every day, but when you're going to do that anyway, you might as well blunt the impact and help your body handle all of that carbohydrate load.
Mm-hmm.
And this is really self-love. This is self-care when you choose to make it easier on your body, right? So if you don't have these tools on hand for this Thanksgiving, make sure you get them before the next season comes, right? Before December hits. And the other thing that we can think about during the holidays is, it's not like every day is Christmas, right? Like,
Right.
we don't have to eat like it's Christmas every day. And really, one of the easiest ways to just keep our heads on straight during the holidays is just to do this intermittent fasting,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
And then drink the drinks. And if you can just keep it that simple, you may choose in January to go lower carb, fine. But for now, do the intermittent fasting and drink the drinks. That's literally it. Any other tips you guys would add for the holidays?
Well, I'll just share a little story because it kind of goes along with what you're saying. So I have some really dear friends of mine that they started using the protocol like 2 months ago, I think. And anyway, they're part of my little Wednesday morning prayer group. And they were just kind of telling me, they said, typically in the past when the holidays would come around, one of them would absolutely try to go sugar free because she was like, if I start, then I just know I'm just going to do sugar all the way through Christmas. And she was like, so I've always been really crazy about that. And she said, but using this protocol, what I've learned in these last 2 months is like, I don't have to let that be how my holidays go. Like I can drink this and it won't have such a big impact. And like what you're saying, every day is not Christmas. And so she was like, I feel so confident moving into the holidays because if I want a little bit of pie, I know I can have a little bit of pie. There's no more drama
Right.
around the holidays. And then the other friend was kind of saying the same thing. She was like, this has just really helped me just be more confident about when I'm going to eat and when I'm not going to eat. And moving into the holidays, she said, I used to just it was like I was going to wait until January, like what you're talking about. And now she just said, I just feel really confident moving into it that I'm not going to gain 10 pounds. I'm going to just do this protocol when I'm supposed to, and it will lower the impact that it has on my body. So I just wanted to share that because I thought that was great from their
No,
experience.
it's exactly what we're talking about. And one thing that I see a few questions in the comments. I'm going to get to your questions, I promise. One thing I wanted to mention about this is when you're drinking this, because it kind of calms those cravings down and you don't feel quite so impulsive with your eating. Sometimes you find yourself at a social event and it feels socially appropriate to be eating the things, but you're not actually hungry. And so you're kind of in your head, like, I don't want to be rude. I don't want to just stand here with nothing in my hands when everybody else is eating. I don't want to miss out. Your brain's like, yeah, but this is only once a year. And if you don't eat it, you're going to miss out. You're not going to have this treat again for another year. And it makes you really aware of how much of the food stuff is not really about, what's the right word? Like what food is meant for, which is to nourish us, right? And it's more of like this social and this mental thing. And sometimes I don't know about you, but sometimes in a big group, there's a little bit of social anxiety and eating buffers it, right? So we become very aware of all of the things that are going on in our head when all of a sudden we're not physically hungry. And so what I love about this is, like your friends were saying, you feel a little bit more in control. You're kind of like, okay, I don't even feel hungry to eat. I might choose to eat it, or I might choose not to. And if I choose to eat it, I have a tool that's going to help lower the impact. And if I don't choose to eat it, then I get to do a little bit of the mental emotional work of sitting with some discomfort or some social anxiety or whatever it is, right? And figuring that part out, which you guys, that might sound like, well, why would you want to sit with the discomfort of your emotions and not buffer them with food? But here's the thing. Most of us, year in and year out, do the same thing over and over and over again. We don't really make any progress. And if anything, we gain a couple pounds that we never lose. And then next year we gain a couple more that we never lose. And so we're kind of regressing instead of progressing. And what I'm suggesting is that by simply drinking these drinks, you can start making some progress. And I just think about where Daryl and Annie were last year at this time, new to the protocol, compared to this year. I mean, massive progress.
Massive. Yes, absolutely. And then for it to be even just so black and white yesterday into today, where it's like you don't know when you're going to have a health issue come up. And then when you do, like being able to go into it very confident, not scared. I mean, I've just been worried about Daryl's health for the last 11 years because I could see it as much as when we were trying to do something, it was just not getting any better. It was progressively getting harder. And so to feel confident has been amazing.
It's
Yeah.
been a blessing.
So yes, I'm glad that you shared that. Yeah.
Routine surgery that you may have to undergo. I mean, this is why we love the medical industry, is because heaven forbid there's something like this that we need, an acute issue that we need to tackle, right? But if you have a chronic issue, it totally changes an experience like that. And you guys you're sitting on the other side of it, right? And it just feels really nice. So
yeah.
Congratulations with all that.
You.
Just makes
Thank
me
you.
so stinking happy. I want to read through some of these questions.
Yeah.
And I've seen a couple questions about, we mentioned we were on this cruise together. And I know a lot of you, some of you are, I've met in person that are here tonight on the live, which is so fun. We've had some in-person trainings and some cool things that have been really neat. There's this community, and if you come to this science call tonight, you see people putting science in the chat. If you came late, it's because there's a science call tonight that explains more of a deep dive on this. But actually, right before that call, at 7 p.m. Central, I'm hosting a Zoom call that's free, open to the public. There'll probably be 100 people on there, so you don't have to have your camera on or anything. You can just listen in, and I'm going to go into a little bit of a deep dive about the science briefly of the product, and then I'm going to explain the referral program that we have with this company. And so I know a lot of you are sitting there thinking maybe about your own health and maybe about someone you love's health. Maybe you have a family member, maybe you have a neighbor or a friend or someone in your community, or maybe a lot of people in your community who are really struggling with this. And we're on a mission to get this into as many homes as possible. We want people with stories like Daryl's, right? And so we need help spreading the word about this. And if that's something you think you might be curious about, even a little bit, then you can comment in the chat the word biz, B-I-Z. We probably spelled that in a, but you guys know what I mean, right? B-I-Z, comment biz, and we will send you the link to that call so you can hear how the whole referral program works and see if that might make sense for you. Anything you guys would add to that?
No, I mean, it is now that we have been using this and now that we have just had so much progress and so many of our followers have now become just dear friends of ours who have joined us in this mission. And it really is a mission. Like, we just want to tell everybody about it because it really has changed our lives. And so, that's why, we started talking about it and being more open about it with our followers, because it is just something that we're so grateful for, and we just want to share it. And so I hope that they will comment. If you guys are curious, just put in the word biz. It's just a great call that's very informative, and it just really does let you know about the referral program, which is really cool. And then the science. Oh my gosh, we don't miss a science call, Daryl and I.
Yeah, I know. We've got a good lineup tonight. And I actually think I was thinking about this because Daryl and Annie, I think you guys had at least 30 people that came to the convention. We had a convention in Florida, and some of you all were there with us. It was amazing. And we want to grow that number because on the heels of that convention, I think you had about 10, maybe more from your team that qualified for the cruise. Mm-hmm. And so we went on to go on this cruise together. Well, now we're gearing up for a trip to the Dominican Republic, Punta Cana. And we're trying to grow a group to go on this next trip. And I know that's not for everyone. Some people have no interest in travel. Please, that's not the only reason to do this. But just know that, we have people who just like the idea of referring family and friends here and there. We have people who like the idea of travel and getting together and gathering and being a part of a group and a team. We have people who really look at this as an opportunity to grow a business and help people worldwide. And so there's something for everyone at every different level. And so, any curiosity, come listen in, see what you think. And we would love to meet you. We would really love to meet you because we are big on the actual relationships with one another. So
Absolutely.
It's been so fun.
Okay, I'm getting close to the screen. I don't mean to do this, everyone. Sorry, you're probably gonna have to look up my nostrils for a minute here. But I want to make sure I'm not missing these questions, okay? I saw somebody asked about going in for lab tests, whether or not they should drink their Unimate prior to their lab tests. And I would just recommend water only, right? Because the truth is Unimate kind of helps bring your blood sugar down. And we want to get a very true reading with nothing in your system when you go into those labs. And so I recommend just water about 12 hours before your lab tests. And then let me see, there was another, people are saying, can I buy this in Canada? Yeah, so The beautiful thing is you can get this in over 60 countries. And Miss Annie and Daryl, they have, where do they go to get your link?
Just if they go to missannieshomeandkitchen.com/fiber,
Okay,
they can do that.
just go online, Miss
Right.
Annie's Home and Kitchen /fiber.
Yeah,
Okay.
.com/fiber. And we'll put it in the link. We'll put it in the comments.
So
Yeah.
when you go there, what will happen is you will have an opportunity when you click on that, whatever country you're in, it's going to automatically open in your country. And so it's pretty much the same thing everywhere. The only difference is some countries have different flavors than others, but the science is the same. The protocol works the same. In America, we just launched some new flavors. They might not quite be in Canada yet, but definitely you'll be able to look into that. Let's see. Poor Daryl. Daryl's on recovery and he's doing a live. I love it. Okay, so Kim's asking, is there something she can print out for her endocrinologist to review? Yeah, so honestly, what I would recommend doing is when you go to your doctor's appointment, you can just tell your doctor the name of it. And they can look it up by name in their physician's desk reference. And they'll be able to see. Now, what they'll probably say to you is, I've never heard of it. And sometimes if they have their own supplements in their office, they may say, but I have a thing or two you could try, right? Most of them have just never heard of it. But if they take a minute and look at it, they usually say something like, but it looks pretty good. Let's see what happens, right? Why don't you give it a try and let's see what happens? And they really like seeing what happens over a 3-month period, because that 90 days is how long it takes to get an A1C reading. So we can really see progress over 90 days. That's also why the company does a 90-day money back guarantee. So myself, Daryl, and Annie, we all pay the same price that you're getting through that link. We pay a discounted price, $75 off the ticket price. Okay, so if you just go online, you're going to pay $235 for this. But we all get it, and we're offering you that same discount, $75 off, which makes it $159 for the month for both products. So you'll get everything you need, including the bottle to mix it in when you order. If you have a family member that you would like to do it with you, you actually want to refer that family member, or come to put biz in the chat and come listen in on how the best way to do this. But at the very least, you want to use your referral link when you sign up your family member, because you want them to get a starter kit. You want them to get the brand new box. I'll show you what it looks like. When you first order, hopefully you all can see this. When you first order, it comes with this bottle where you measure both products, and then you get a 30-day supply of both products. And so when you refer someone, they get that new starter kit and you get a $10 product credit at the very least, or you could even get paid. So
Yeah.
all right. Remind me, was there anything else we wanted to cover with everybody tonight?
I think that's it. But, overall, we were just feeling so grateful. Here we're coming up on Thanksgiving, but we were just so grateful that while we had this hiccup with Daryl, an unexpected turn of events, because of the protocol, he's really been able to handle it so well. And we just really feel like that the healing part of it is going to be so much better than it would have been. And so, we wanted to tell you the good news, and just being able to go in and just be able to just say and hear the nurses say, oh, that's perfect. You're not, I mean, they had to come in. I don't know. I felt like they came in like every couple of hours, and they were like pricking Daryl's finger to find out what his blood sugar was. And every single time it was like, this is perfect. This is good. Great. It was amazing. And then just his overall health was so good. So we wanted to share that with you and say thank you. And we just know that so many of our followers are in our age group, and you kind of get on the hamster wheel and you feel like, I remember I just always felt like, well, eventually I'm going to end up having to be on cholesterol medicine and all these different things. And it doesn't have to be that way. But you think that it does. And we've proven in the last year that it doesn't have to be that way. And it's not hard. Daryl has started and stopped for years. But now he's like,
Started and stopped what? Dieting,
exercise.
things that tried to get myself into shape, but this has been so easy to get where I want to be. I never thought I'd see 190 again. Holy cow. I never.
Yeah.
But I still wear an extra large, so I'm feeling pretty good about myself.
I love it. Yeah, something about the baggy shirt just reminding you every day of how far you've come.
That's right. Anyway, so anyway, I don't think there's anything to add as much as we just kind of felt like too, we knew like we've had all of those thoughts in our brains and minds about the holidays coming up too. And it doesn't have to be that hard. And you don't have to wait till January 1st. Like you can just kind of go into the holidays, not with all the drama, and so if you guys come to the science call tonight, be sure and come to the science call. And if you're just interested in the referral part of it, a lot of probably everybody who's watching is a customer and using the product, and maybe they haven't thought about the referral program. So come over and yeah. Anyway, those are just my thoughts. Anything else?
I can't think of anything.
All right. Well, thank you for having me on. I love this community so much. And I know some of you, I DM with you, and I'm just grateful for the beautiful light that you all bring into my life, and for Daryl and Annie for creating this space. Daryl, I'm so happy for you. I'm so proud of you. Get some rest, but know that we are all rooting for you and praying for you. And I'm just grateful. I think those nurses kept being like, wait a second, maybe he was just low because he was coming down off a rebound of eating some. I guess he's really just low. They couldn't believe their eyes.
Yep.
It's awesome. Good for you. So happy. All right.
Thank
Well,
you
I'll
so
see you
much.
all in a couple hours, hopefully.
All right.
Okay.
Love you. Thank
All right.
you.
Okay.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
everybody. Thanks for joining. And we're just going to remind you to be stronger every day and
Nope.
know that you can do hard things.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.